welcome to the 7-day chakra challenge. I followed the chakra sequences from this book as diligently as possible. The meditations were inspired by some online research, meaning pose, mantra, and mudra. It's the last day. We're focusing on the 7th chakra, sahasrara chakra, which is actually above your head. And today we're going to be getting enlightened. At least I hope a little bit.
The sahasrara chakra class started with tadasana, and some ujjayi pranayama. You'll see some integrated pieces from all of the previous sequences that I've done before. So I spent 1 minute in vrksasana on both sides, and then went into classical Surya Namaskar 3 times. I've become a really big fan of using these sequences to warm up in my own practice when I'm not doing the chakra challenge, doing some classical Surya Namaskar, some Surya Namaskar A, B, and just like Dancing Warrior here is just such a great warm-up for the body. I think I did about 4 Dancing Warrior sequences flowing continuously through, and today my hips hurt a little bit, so you'll see that I'm taking some props to help myself out, especially during side angle. I wanted to go a little bit deeper than putting my forearm on my thigh, so I used some blocks to help out, and I hope that helps you too with a couple of ideas to use some props in your own practice. After 1 minute of dandasana, I then went into navasana boat pose, holding 5 breaths and flowing into talasana in between each repetition. So I've never done this combination before, and it was pretty difficult, but it was also pretty fun. Then it was time for lalasana for 5 breaths, and I rested in downward dog for 1 minute before getting ready for bakasana. I'm eager to hear if you have any recommendations on how to do this pose when your arms are super sweaty. At this point I was dripping sweat and I just couldn't stay in one spot. I moved into Parsvottanasana for about 5 breaths, and then flowed through a vinyasana before coming into Setu Bandha Sharvangasana, preparing for some deeper back bends. So I did Urdhva Dhanurasana for about 5 breaths, and then went into Ustrasana camel pose for about 5 breaths. There was the option to go into the deeper back bend of Kapotasana, but I wasn't feeling great today, so I decided to take it easy and just stick with regular camel pose. After a quick rest in Balasana, I went into Ardha Matsyendrasana for 5 breaths on each side. And then Dandasana for about 5 breaths before Janu Shirshasana, holding for 1 minute on each side. Instead of doing a classical Baddha Konasana, I elevated my hips on a couple of blankets and pushed my feet forward into more of a diamond shape, as this was easier on my hips for today. Then I had the option either for Upavishta Konasana or Kurmasana as an alternative, so I did take Kurmasana. I just love this pose, I think it's so fun. And then I went into Gomukhasana or cow face pose for 1 minute on each side. I feel like there was a lot of Dandasana in this sequence, but after this last one, it was time for Shalamba Shirshasana for 2 to 5 minutes. Now, 2 to 5 minutes is a really long time, so I just decided to split it up into 3 sections of 1 minute each, and entering the pose in different ways just to practice. Now, a rest in Balasana wasn't included, but I added it anyway before coming into Supta Parivartanasana. I hope I said that right. On each side for about 5 to 10 breaths, and Shavasana for about 5 minutes before entering my meditation for the day. I started with a few minutes of Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. And while we're here, I wanted to share with you a quote from our yoga sequencing book about the sahasrara chakra. The number 1000 is given to signify the infinite. Beyond the elements, it is said to be the seat of the soul, representing the abiding quality of consciousness that pervades the universe. Reflecting the overall condition of one's life, once one has brought balance and integration to the qualities of existence symbolized by the other chakras, one comes to a sense of integrated, blissful being, wholly at peace and at one in the world. I then adopted the Hakini mudra and chanted Ah to finish off my meditation.
I can't believe we made it. We made it to the crown chakra. This sequence was more of an integrated sequence of everything that we've been doing. From what I hear, the crown chakra is actually not something to work on. It's more of a culmination of... Culmination? Is that a word? I swear I'm forgetting English. It's a culmination of all of the other work that you put into the other chakras. So if everything else is aligned, then you have more. The crown chakra will be open and good. It took me about 2 months to do this whole thing. I did take 1 week off, and there are 7 chakras, so 8 weeks. And it's been quite a journey. I've not expected this at all, but I have enjoyed it overall, and I would totally do it again. I would definitely incorporate more chakra sequences or chakra specific practices into my regular yoga. So I'm really glad that I did this, and I hope that you try it too. I don't really have anything violet, so I did my best, but I did have some crystals that do associate with the crown chakra. Amethyst is one of them. It's for third eye, crown chakra, just this whole region. So I had my amethyst. There were a lot of resources saying that both violet and white clear crystals are representative of the crown chakra, or good for the crown chakra. So I have moonstone, a little one that I think is very cute. I love moonstone. Actually, there is a spot, and I totally forgot about this until right now, that when you look at it in the right light, there is a little violet streak, and that's so cool. I love that. And I have my angelite. I think it's angelite. I'll double check, but it's also white. I have a clear quartz crystal necklace, but it's too long and it would have been in the way, so I don't know how people really do it when they wear jewelry during yoga, because it's not fun. It gets in the way all the time. Your body is going in all different directions, and so is your jewelry going with you. These kind of bracelets, I think, are generally okay until you start doing things on the forearms, and then they kind of get in the way. I'll make this quick because it's really hot. I was definitely sweating. You could see the sweat dripping down my arms at one point because it's very humid and hot, and we don't have air conditioning. So I don't think the sweating was because of the actual sequence per se. It was challenging. It was challenging for sure. And I did see elements of each chakra in the sequence. The meditation started with a Nadi Shodhana breath, which we did for the third eye chakra as well. I really like that breath. And then I chanted Ah, like A-H, and Om, as in O-M. There were some resources saying that the Aum, A-U-M, mantra is for the crown chakra as well as the third eye chakra. I decided to try something different, and honestly, I couldn't focus today. I also had to take more props today because my hips aren't feeling great, so I modify it as I needed, and I hope that when you do your sequences, you also modify as you need to, depending on the day, depending on how your body is feeling and what it needs. Sometimes we just have to be a little bit nicer to each other, to ourselves, and to each other. And be gentle and be careful, and you know, you can still be disciplined, but be kind to your body and not hurt yourself. So I think that's a wrap. Oh, the mudra. The mudra was the Hakini mudra, which is like this. And I think it's so interesting that I do this a lot when I'm thinking, and I also believe that I've seen other people do this as well. They're kind of just like, this is my thinking pose. One of the effects of this mudra is actually brain power. So it's really interesting that this is just a natural, or maybe learned, but a learned cultural hand gesture to indicate that we're thinking. And this mudra is also supposed to increase logical thinking and improve the crown chakra, I guess. So it's so cool. I just, you know, maybe we're smarter than we think we are. Or it's the other way around. I'm not really sure. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this journey. I've had a lot of fun. I haven't recorded videos like this before, and I feel like I've gotten much more comfortable now, and I'll be sharing more with you in the future, of course. Remember that I also offer yoga lessons online, so if you want to join me, you can find the link to sign up on my blog, and everything is linked. So, oh, we're getting uncomfortable, so it's time to go. Thanks for joining me on this chakra challenge that took 2 months. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye. Are you comfortable now? You can tell quite a bit of time has passed because his fur has gotten much longer. Are we gonna go? Let's go, baby.